Okay, let's unpack this cold emails. We all get them, right?
Oh, yeah, constantly.
And a lot of the time, they're, well, let's just say they don't exactly spark joy in our inboxes.
Understatement.
But here's the thing that's really interesting. The sheer volume of, like, lackluster attempts
Hmm.
actually highlights the potential impact of one that's done well.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real art to crafting a cold email that cuts through the noise and, gets a genuine response.
Absolutely. The default reaction to a cold email is often just, a mental delete button. But if you flip the script and approach it thoughtfully,
Right.
it's not an interruption, it's a potential connection,
Right.
one that could benefit both sides.
Exactly. So today's mission for you, our listener, is to go way beyond the surface level of cold emailing. We're diving deep into proven templates and the crucial underlying elements that make them actually work.
Yeah, the why behind them.
Right. Whether you're trying to pinpoint the right person in some sprawling organization or offer a solution to a very specific challenge, we're going to equip you with frameworks that can truly transform your outreach.
Yeah, we're looking at a pretty diverse set of scenarios here. Situations where a targeted, intelligent approach can unlock doors that might otherwise, well, just stay closed.
Hmm.
It's really about moving away from that old spray and pray mentality
Oh,
and
yeah.
embracing like precision and genuine connection.
Okay. All right, let's kick things off. Template 1. It's often overlooked, but incredibly useful. The quick question.
Ah, yes.
Now, imagine you've identified a company that seems like a perfect fit for what you offer, but navigating their org chart feels like, I don't know, trying to find a specific grain of sand on a beach.
That's a perfect picture. You've done your initial research, you see the synergy, but you're missing that vital piece, the name, the person who actually makes decisions in the right area.
So the structure here is deceptively simple. It's short, direct introduction, something like, hi, first name, my name is your name from your company. Simple enough.
Mhm.
And then you immediately get to the point with a polite and specific question. Could you point me to the right person in your sales customer relationship product buying department? I'd be grateful for their contact info. Thanks. Short and sweet.
What's fascinating about this template, I think, is the psychology behind it. It's a very low commitment request, right?
Totally.
You're not asking for a meeting or a demo or even a long chat, just a piece of information. And people are, well, generally wired to be helpful with small, easy asks. It sort of taps into that.
Right. It's almost like you're saying, hey, I'm not even sure if I'm talking to the right person here, so any guidance would be great. That vulnerability, that kind of human admission of uncertainty,
Yeah.
it actually makes you more relatable, less like a pushy salesperson.
Exactly. It subtly disarms that initial defensiveness people often have towards, unsolicited emails.
Hmm.
It's a surprisingly effective way to get past the gatekeepers, maybe, and find the right point of contact in a bigger company where that info isn't just like lying around.
Okay, good stuff. Template number 2, the third-party connection. Now, this is your strategic move when you think you know the right person, but they're proving to be a bit like a digital ghost.
Emails vanishing into the void.
Exactly. Your direct emails are just poof, gone.
Precisely. So the pivot here is to leverage a connection, even an indirect one. You look for someone else within that same company, maybe a lower level employee whose contact info you can find on, say, LinkedIn, or maybe even Twitter.
Right. And the email might go something like this. Hi, first name. I came across your profile on platform and was hoping you could maybe assist me.
Okay.
We offer a solution for a specific industry problem that the target company likely faces, and I really believe it could be valuable for target company name. I'm trying to connect with the right person to discuss this. Could you let me know who that might be and maybe the best way to reach them? Appreciate any help.
What's clever about this is that it subtly incentivizes that lower level employee by framing your outreach around a potential benefit for the company.
Yeah. Okay.
You're giving them an opportunity to be helpful, but
Yeah.
also potentially bring a valuable lead to their team. It's a way for them to look good internally, possibly.
Right. It's like you're saying, hey, I've got something that could genuinely help your company.
Hmm.
And by helping me connect, you're maybe contributing to a win for your own organization. Plus, mentioning where you found them, it creates a slight sense of obligation, doesn't it?
It can, yeah. Or at least connection.
They might feel more inclined to assist since you specifically reached out to them.
Exactly. It taps into that, natural human inclination to connect people and maybe facilitate good things within their professional network.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. Dive into a more direct, problem-focused approach. The PAS template problem. agitate, solve.
Ah, the classic.
This one's all about highlighting a specific pain point your prospect is likely experiencing and then positioning your offering as the clear antidote.
Yeah, and this one requires more legwork up front, more research. You need to move beyond just general assumptions and find a concrete problem that the target company is likely dealing with.
How do you find that?
Well, like the template suggests, actively looking at their online presence helps. Things like customer reviews on Twitter, Google, Yelp, even Facebook comments. They can provide really valuable clues about challenges and areas for improvement.
Okay, so the email structure unfolds in three parts. First, you clearly state the problem. For instance, hi first name, I noticed several recent customer reviews mentioning difficulties with your current onboarding process. Pretty direct.
Mm-hmm. Then you agitate.
Right, agitate that problem. You subtly amplify the negative consequences. Something like inefficient onboarding, well, it can lead to increased churn rates and lower customer lifetime value, ultimately impacting your bottom line.
And this is where you move beyond just stating a fact. You're highlighting its impact. You're connecting the dots between the problem and its negative effects on the business.
Precisely. And finally, you solve it. You present your product or service as the logical, effective solution. So, in our onboarding example, it might be your product service name streamlines that whole onboarding process, giving new customers a seamless experience from day one. Would you be open to a brief chat about how we've helped companies like yours cut churn and improve satisfaction?
The real power of this template, I think, lies in its personalized opening. It shows you've done your homework, you understand a specific challenge they're facing,
Yeah.
and by directly addressing a known pain point, you grab their attention in a way a generic pitch just never could. They're likely thinking, yes, that is something we need to fix.
It's almost like you're reading their mind,
Yeah.
right? Identifying a frustration they already know about. And because you're offering a tailored solution to that clearly stated problem, your call to action feels much more relevant, more compelling.
Exactly. It shifts the whole conversation from just another cold outreach to a potential solution for a need they already recognize.
Okay, next up, we have the AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action.
Another classic framework.
Yeah, this one's the classic for a reason. It's about building a persuasive narrative that leads your prospect step by step towards taking action. Often uses social proof and compelling data.
Think of it like guiding your prospect through a sequence, a flow of engagement. You start by grabbing their attention, maybe with a thought-provoking question or a surprising statistic related to a problem they might have, like, hi, first name, did you know companies with optimized relevant area see an average of X% improvement in key metric?
Okay, grabs attention. Then you pique their interest by giving them some compelling social proof or relevant data. Something like, we recently helped similar company in their industry achieve a wow result, like 30% increase within short time frame by implementing your product service.
Right. This is where you move beyond just hypothetical benefits. You showcase tangible results, real results achieved for a peer, ideally. It adds a ton of credibility and makes your claims, well, more believable.
And that naturally leads to desire. This is where you elaborate on the benefits and paint a picture of what similar success could look like for them. For instance, beyond that quantifiable result, your product service also helped a similar company streamline their specific process, leading to increased efficiency and even higher team morale.
And the more specific and relatable these benefits are to the prospect's own industry and challenges, the stronger the desire you'll create for those same outcomes.
Makes sense. Finally, you have the action, a clear, direct call to action. I'd be happy to share how we achieve these results for similar company and discuss how your product service could drive similar improvements for their company. Would you be open to a brief, say, 15-minute call this week?
Yeah, the AIDA framework is particularly effective when you're targeting maybe more data-driven individuals or organizations. It appeals to their analytical side.
Right.
By presenting concrete evidence, proof of success, you build trust and make it easier for them to see the potential ROI.
Okay, let's pivot again. A style that prioritizes being concise.
Yeah.
That's straight-to-business template. This one is really tailor-made for those busy executives who, value their time above all else. They just want you to get right to the point.
Absolutely. For this audience, every single word counts. Your email needs to immediately show you understand their priorities and can offer something that directly impacts their key objectives. Lead with the heavy hitters.
So the structure is super lean, very focused. You start by directly addressing a common, high-level challenge their company might face, Hi, first name. Are you looking for ways to increase efficiency in your specific department process? Boom.
Right into it.
Then you immediately follow up with compelling, quantifiable results. We've helped companies similar to yours achieve an average of, say, significant percentage increase in efficiency within short time frame.
Notice there's no introductory fluff. None. It immediately tackles a potential pain point and backs it up with impressive, data-driven results. Bang, bang.
Then you briefly, clearly explain your solution. Our product service name provides very concise explanation of key function and benefit. Keep it short, and you wrap up with a low-commitment, time-conscious call to action. Would a brief 10-minute call to explore how this could apply to their company name be worthwhile?
This template works because it respects their limited time, right? And it immediately answers that crucial question, why should I care?
Yeah, what's in it for me?
Exactly. It provides tangible proof of value right up front. For busy executives, this directness, this demonstrated potential ROI, it's often the most effective way to actually get their attention.
Now let's explore maybe a more imaginative approach.
Yeah.
The paint a picture template.
Ah, I like this one.
This one focuses on helping your prospect visualize the tangible, positive impact your product or service can have, like on their day-to-day or their overall results.
Yeah, the core idea here is creating a clear contrast between their current situation, which is likely a frustrating one in some way, and the improved reality they could have with your solution. It's about making the benefits feel real, attainable.
So for example, you might start with, hi, first name, are you tired of spending countless hours on some inefficient task or process? You're immediately tapping into a common frustration they can probably relate to.
Then you shift the narrative. You paint that vivid picture of the positive transformation your offering provides. Imagine a scenario where that entire process is automated, freeing up your time, your resources to focus on more strategic stuff. With your product service name, that's exactly what becomes possible.
It's about moving beyond just listing features, isn't it? It's showcasing the tangible, day-to-day improvements they can expect. You're helping them envision a better outcome.
Right.
And then you naturally follow up with a CTA that invites them to see this vision in action. Would you be interested in a quick demo to see how your product service name can make this a reality for your team?
This template is particularly powerful, I think, when the direct benefits or maybe the practical applications of your product aren't immediately obvious.
Yeah, if it's complex.
Right. By creating that clear, compelling before and after scenario, you make it much easier for the prospect to grasp the value proposition and, see themselves actually benefiting from it.
Okay, finally, template number 7. The something useful template. This is all about playing the long game.
Relationship building.
Exactly. Building rapport, establishing yourself as a valuable resource by offering genuine value up front with no immediate expectation of a return.
This strategy really centers on building a relationship based on trust, maybe shared interests. It often begins with some initial research to understand, what the prospect focuses on, what kind of content they engage with or share online.
So your email might start with something like, hi, first name, I came across your recent post on LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. about specific topic they discussed. Okay.
Yeah.
I found your insights on mention a specific point they made particularly interesting. You're showing you've actually paid attention. You're not just blasting.
The key here is genuine praise, followed by offering a relevant, valuable resource. You're not pitching your product yet. You're simply aiming to provide something helpful.
Right. So you might continue with, it made me think of this article I recently read on a related topic. Link to relevant article resource. Thought you might find it interesting. That's it.
It's leveraging a bit of flattery, genuinely acknowledging their expertise or insights, and then backing it up by providing additional value, a relevant resource.
And by offering something useful without asking for anything in return, you're starting to build goodwill, aren't you? You establish yourself as someone who's genuinely interested in their field, not just making a sale.
Exactly. It's about initiating a connection based on shared interests and demonstrating your value as a knowledgeable resource. This can be really effective for prospects who are known to be resistant to direct sales pitches.
The tough nuts to crack.
Yeah, or who just prefer to build relationships first before they even consider business opportunities. It lays the groundwork for potential future engagement down the line.
Okay, so those are some great templates. But, beyond these specific formats, our research consistently highlights 3 essential elements, things that are absolutely critical for any effective cold email, regardless of the template you adapt.
Yeah, these are the non-negotiables, really. The first, and maybe the most fundamental, is research. You just cannot expect to get good results with cold outreach if you haven't done your homework, period.
Right.
You need a deep understanding of who your ideal customer is.
And this means going beyond just surface-level demographics, right?
Yeah.
You need to really dig into their buyer personas. What are their roles, their challenges, their priorities? What kind of info do they consume? What are their potential pain points that your thing can actually solve? The more you know, the more targeted and relevant your message can be.
Research basically forms the bedrock of effective personalization and targeting. Without it, your emails are just going to feel generic, irrelevant, and honestly easily dismissed.
Which leads right into the second essential element, personalization. And like you said, this goes way beyond just inserting their first name in the greeting.
Oh yeah, that's table stakes now. Bare minimum.
True personalization involves demonstrating that you've actually taken the time to learn something specific about them or their company.
Could be referencing a recent company announcement, maybe a project they're involved in, or even a specific piece of content they published or shared. Generic greetings just don't cut it anymore. They really don't.
It's about making that initial connection feel human, intentional. Showing your email isn't just another mass blast from a list.
Right.
Effective personalization signals you've invested time in understanding their specific context. And that's the crucial first step in building any kind of meaningful relationship.
And the third absolutely vital element is value. You must always ask yourself, what tangible benefit am I offering the recipient? And it's so crucial to remember that value is defined by them, not by you.
Exactly. Value can take so many forms. It can be offering a solution to a specific problem they have, providing access to valuable info or resources,
Maybe offering a fresh perspective on a challenge.
or even just offering a brief phone call to understand their needs better, right? It's not just about pushing your product or service constantly. It's about offering something of genuine worth to the person getting the email.
It's about shifting your focus from what you want to achieve to what they might find genuinely beneficial. Understanding their needs, tailoring your outreach to address those needs, that's paramount.
So I guess the core message here is pretty clear. Successful cold emailing isn't just a numbers game. It's not about sending out as many generic messages as possible and hoping something sticks.
Oh, definitely not.
It's a strategic, thoughtful process. It's targeted outreach, providing genuine value, and building trust, one personalized email at a time.
It requires a real shift in mindset, I think. Moving away from a purely transactional approach and embracing the opportunity to build actual meaningful connections.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as you, the listener, consider your own outreach strategies. Really think about these templates and, just as importantly, those essential underlying elements: research, personalization, value. Which of these approaches could unlock some unexpected connections for you? And maybe what small piece of research might reveal the most valuable insight for your very next email?
Yeah.
That's your challenge to consider.